Now it's time for Which is More Likely, sponsored by the Fort Worth Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Time now for Which is More Likely. I've got a series of scenarios for our esteemed panel. It's up to them to decide which of the statements is more likely to happen. Sound simple? That's because it is. Don't complicate it, Jonah. All right. Statement number one here. Let's pick on the new guys in charge around these parts. Which is more likely? Anthony Davis leads the Mavs to an NBA title, or Brian Schottenheimer gets the Cowboys back to the NFC title game? Clarence, kick us off here. What do you think?
Anthony Davis. The Mavericks are closer to winning now. I don't think either are likely, but if one is more likely, it's Anthony Davis.
All right. Mac, what do you think?
Eventually, we're going to be right. Give me Brian Schottenheimer and the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, only because eventually, it's going to happen. And I'm going to be on the front end of this thing, and that's why when it happens, I'm going to be like, I knew it. That's why I'm going with my guy, Shotty.
Fair enough. Jonah, which side of the fence you on here?
Mac, you're just being so contrarian, really just playing devil's advocate for the sake of television. The answer is Anthony Davis by a mile, just because the Mavs went to the NBA Finals last year. I mean, he's still a great player when healthy. So if he can get back and they get to the playoffs, sure, they got a shot.
There was a certain caveat there that I want to kind of linger on a little bit.
I don't know what
more.
to do with my hands.
And at least if we're talking about windows, Shotty's got 4 years, and we're talking about the Mavs window being 2 to 3, so he's got a little bit longer runway to get into that raffle to try and get to the NFC title game. All right, statement number 2 here. Let's move on. Which is more likely? Dak wins the Super Bowl or Mahomes catches Brady? Dak's runway a little bit different, and Mahomes' runway a little bit different, but and this question loses a little steam since Mahomes lost today, but Mac, jump in here. What do you think?
Give me Dak winning a Super Bowl only because what Patrick Mahomes has to do to catch Tom Brady. I mean, he's not even at the halfway point.
Right.
That's how tall that mountain is. So I'm going to take Dak's chances. He's just got to get one, whereas Patrick's got to get like 4 more. So give me those odds, even though I don't like either one of them.
Clarence, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm piggybacking on Mac. I don't like either one of them. Certainly losing tonight really took a shot at Mahomes getting to Brady. I mean, they needed to get this one tonight to really continue that thing. I think the Chiefs are going to have a lot of guys retire. It's going to be a different team going forward. Certainly, it's a long shot for Dak, but Dak has a better chance than Mahomes at this point.
I hear you. Jonah?
I'll take Mahomes. For the sole reason of this Chiefs team didn't really seem fully that good this year. They had to win a lot of games by 1 possession, and they still made it all the way to the Super Bowl, running into a juggernaut Eagles team. If you get some fresh legs and get some new talent in there, and maybe some of their rookies and second-year guys grow up, the Chiefs are still going to be around, and I still think Mahomes is as good as anybody on the planet when he's got the supporting cast and Andy Reid calling plays. So give me that.
Speaking of the Chiefs being a little bit probably not as good as their record would indicate on some level, all of the penalties seem to go the opposite way. The penalties were such a huge thing going into this game. They get one tic-tac call right out the gates, and everyone thinks, oh, no, here we go. And then everything else for the rest of the game is against the Chiefs, which I thought was pretty funny. I personally, I'm leaning toward Mahomes a little bit just because Dak's got the Jerry Mountain to climb. Like, there's a part of this where it's butting up against him at that point. And I feel like Mahomes has got a little bit better leadership long term.
Did you say Dak wins a Super Bowl period or wins one with the Cowboys?
Period. And that's a good caveat. I agree.
What if he goes to a contender?
To the Raiders or whichever team needs a quarterback
2-3 years
when
from
he's
now?
35 years old. All right. Moving on here. Statement number 3. Which is more likely to get their number retired by their current team? Anthony Davis or Luka Doncic? And this is a caveat because, again, if Davis wins the title here, I feel like that guarantees his number goes in the rafters at one level. And I feel like we all anticipate Luka playing at that certain level to have his number retired. So, Jonah, which do you think is more likely to happen?
Luka's jersey getting retired by the Lakers is absolutely more likely. He's 25 years old, AD's 32. It's just math.
Mac, what do you think?
Well, if you listen to the Mavericks, it's not going to be Luka because he's more likely to be on my 600-pound life than he is to be playing good enough basketball to have his number retired by the Lakers. God. But given his age, it is going to, and when he did that press conference the other day, this is what pained me as someone who follows and wants to see the Mavericks win. Luka Doncic's number 77 is going to be retired by the LA Lakers next to Worthy and Kobe and Magic and Kareem. And I'm just going to you got to be kidding me. The Mavericks gave them this guy.
And Clarence,
so I'm going to go with Luka.
Clarence, real quick, jump in here.
I don't think either will get retired, but I'm going to go with Luka